Mashiach be a blessing to read the word.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Shabbat Shalom.
Today's lesson, we're going to go down and read Ezekiel 34. Ezekiel 34 talks about a lot of the things that's going on. Well, actually, the main reason why we are, one of the main reasons why we are as lost as a people as we are. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start off at Ezekiel 34, verse 1.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 1. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus said Yahweh Elohim unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks?
Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? Okay, we're looking at, we have these people, these big mega churches out here, and people running around inside Israel actually, running around saying that it's okay to, have crayon marriages, and it's okay to bless this pork and still eat it. They just don't have an understanding. The pastors are not feeding them what they need to be fed. They're feeding them what they need for their pockets to get fed. And for those of you that don't know who Israel is, let's find out who Israel is today. Give me Genesis 35. Genesis 35, 9 through 12.
Book of Genesis, chapter 35, verse 9. And Elohim appeared to Jacob again when he came out of the Darrin and blessed him. And Elohim said to him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. And Elohim said to him, I am Elohim Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land.
So the Israelites came from Jacob, the son of Isaac, correct? You're not the son of Isaac?
Right.
And Isaac's father was Abraham, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we get Ezekiel 3.
Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 3. Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock.
So according to this verse, the shepherds of Israel, which are, like I said before, the pastors and the leaders, your Jesse Jacksons and your Al Sharptons and all them, your Creflos and what's that guy named? T.D. Jakes and G.E. Patterson. Those are the ones that are feeding themselves. I remember that flood that happened down in Houston. And that's where Joel Osteen had that big mega church, correct?
Exactly.
And he did not let the people that lost their homes come into that house. Which the door is supposed to be open 24/7, correct?
Right, should be. Especially the way they portray it, that's what's happening.
Right.
And people thinking that they coming in there and they worshiping, they're giving them their money, their 10% and all that good stuff. They feel like, I'm sure because it was me, and something went down like that, I'd be expecting my church to be able to be there for me as a comfort and for a support.
Right.
But when he shut the church down, that should have been an eye opener right there, right? But I have one more comment, right? It's not just those people. is people in Israel also. You got guys out there today that actually consider themselves as Israel, but they're lining their pockets and they're doing all these things. They're not doing too much different from the other people. It's just they're wearing fringes, right? They're wearing fringes.
They put a lot of faith in the fringes too.
Exactly.
In the fringes.
Exactly. And they're forgetting about Hamashiach, right? It's because it's the Hamashiach. That's what saves us. That's what help us deliver, recover us from our sins and from our damnation. So we got a lot of people that's actually Israel. And if you really think about it, if Israel is Israel, right, and everybody in Israel came together as Israel without any pride, quote unquote, because there's just because we Israel don't mean that you don't have people walking around here with pride, right? There's still prideful men out here, right? But it is about pride. Should it be about pride?
What's up?
Because pride comes before what?
Destruction.
Right. So pride comes before destruction, but I lift myself up and I portray myself before the people that I have all this pride. Then what are the people that's following me going to do? Right? They think, a lot of them instead of defending Hamashiach, they're defending what? Themselves. Right? A lot of them are standing for doctrine that are not good doctrine, but because they put that doctrine out there, they're standing for that doctrine because they put it out there. They are the father of that doctrine, right? So we have to look at, it's not just the regular people, it's all of it. The Most High, he said, because you think about it, right now, that is the heads of Israel. Right? Because the other guys are with Baal, the churches, they falling under who? The law of Constantine. They're falling under the Roman church. All those different things. But when they came and committed and say, I know who I am, and now I'm teaching Israel, but when I go and teach my own doctrine, or I teach a false doctrine, that means I'm misleading the sheep. I'm feeding myself. Right?
Ezekiel Chapter 34, verse 4. The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have you bound up that which was broken, neither have you brought again that which was driven away, neither have you sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have you ruled them.
With force and with cruelty have you ruled them. So you got people basically paying for prayer. They're paying for prayers. They're going to church. They're giving their money on Sundays. You got people out there on the sidewalk. Got folk kissing their boots and all that stuff. And he said that Israel is sick, broken, driven away, and lost. He also said that pastors have ruled over them with force and cruelty. And they have taken cold advantage over us because we're a walking building. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And they were scattered because there is no shepherd, and they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered.
That's right. So, and he said that he's going to scatter us to the four corners. Now, if you look and see where we are today, on the four corners of this earth, you're going to see us still lost, still standing on the corner, still being the tail, not the head, still having to go and borrow money from this man to pay this man, and then, we're still doing what's written. We're going to hit Deuteronomy 28. We're going to hit verse 15 and 20.
Deuteronomy chapter 15. Deuteronomy chapter 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice the Most High thy Elohim, to observe, to do all his commandments and all his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Yeah, let's find out what that is. Drop down to 20 and read through 25.
Verse 20. The Most High shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand unto, for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of thy wickedness, thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Verse 21. Most High shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he hath consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Most High shall smite thee with a consumption, with a fever, with an inflammation, with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with thy blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Verse 23. The heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. The Most High shall make the rain of the land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Okay, hold on right there. He said, starting off 25, he said that the Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. And they broadcast it every day on the news, on Facebook, on social media. They broadcast us being shot, being dead in the streets. And that is a fear tactic. I mean, that's what they're using to keep us apart, to keep us separated from rising up and becoming who we're supposed to be.
Verse 25. Thou shalt go out of one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. It shall be removed unto all the kingdoms of the earth.
What's up?
You know what? That scare tactic that they used against Israel worked so well that you look around, that's the same exact thing they're doing to the Mexicans. They're doing the same exact thing to the Mexicans today, right? But now what they're doing is now they're saying that this guy is a racist. But when they did all those things to Israel, not one time did they say they was racist, right? But I do have a precept. Isaiah 51. I'm going to read 18 through 20. And so now this is because the shepherd has been smited, right? It says, there is none to guide her among all the sons whom she has brought forth. And we're talking about Israel, right? There's none to guide her through all the sons that have been brought forth, right? It said, neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she has brought up. 19. These two things are come unto thee, right? Who shall be sorry for thee?
Nobody. Ain't nobody sorry.
Ain't nobody sorry for thee.
Not even the shepherds.
Exactly. No, they feasting.
Yeah, they eat good.
Exactly. And then it says, and what else? Desolation and destruction and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? And the 20th verse says what? And we can see this every day, right? It says, thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. This is something that this right here is Israel 101. Right? Everybody got this one from the top, right? But it says that they are at the head of every street. All you gotta do is ride around. They're gonna be at the corner. That's the head of every street is the corner. Right. And then it says this about them as they sat on that corner. It says, and the famine. I'm sorry, let me back up. It says, and they're gonna be at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in the net. Don't them guys get rowdy out there?
Real quick. Step on my Jordans.
But because they don't have a shepherd to lead them, right?
Right.
It says they are full of fury, then they're not full of the fury of the Most High, our Elohim.
Right.
Right?
And one of the things about that is, we get mad at each other before we get mad at anybody else. Because we don't have as a nation, don't have the understanding that we are brothers and sisters. We are kings and queens. We are the chosen people. And, the brothers be on the corners, man. And even let's say you're walking through Walmart. Brother step on your tennis shoe. Right? Brother don't say excuse me. He just keep walking. So you get mad. I just bought these. These were solid white, so you step on them, so you finna fight the brother in Walmart because you step on your shoe. But the brother gets gunned down by the police officer over here. You wanna pick up signs and go picket it. So it's just.
If you think about that, brother, if you think about that, right? So now, if my natural brother, right, step on my tennis shoe, I'm not gonna get so angry that I'm gonna go from 0 to 80, right? I'm ready to take his life. Because I feel like my brother's life is more important than a pair of tennis shoes.
Right.
But when we meet brothers in the street that we don't know and they step on your tennis shoe, because you paid a certain amount of money for these tennis shoes, you want to kill this guy because you're going from 0 to 80, right? Just like that, right? So now you went from 0 to 80, you better kill this brother. So you tell this brother that your life, that the life of the brother you're trying to kill, that his life is not worth more than your tennis shoe.
Right.
And there have been people that have been killed for tennis shoes. They robbed them of their tennis shoes and killed them, saying that, okay, the tennis shoes are worth more than your life. But we don't want to look at what it really is. A true brotherhood means that there's no love, that love for your brother, that there's nothing beyond the love for your brother. Right. Unless he's wicked. Right. And even then, your love for him should allow you to edify your brother.
That's right. That's right.
You should try to reason with my brothers.
There you go.
I think over years it's been kind of ingrained in us to hate each other. From the time of slavery. So you're not even framed the correct frame of mind to value because you don't know who you are as a person or the spirit world. You just not even have. So then there's no value placed in your life because I see there's less to do. But they understand that they could do that to life.
Right.
Whatever it is, they step on white man shoe, white man shoe, they know.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's why I put off myself. Don't worry about it.
But I don't know if it came the Mexican drum with whatever you want to say. They used to pit us against each other. We never get us against each other. That's kind of what I think.
But look at what I'm sorry, brother.
You see, we gotta look at this too. We have been groomed as a nation.
I'm giving it a second. Come on.
To be competitive amongst ourselves. We compete daily amongst ourselves. And I say that because, it's, such and such when they got this, or I gotta outdo that, or such and such when they bought this big old house, or I gotta do that, I gotta get me a bigger house, Or, instead of saying, such and such when you found him a woman, instead of saying I want a woman like that, they say I want her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And then that causes us to remain in that state of mind that, even when we were in captivity, they would have slaves fight to the death for entertainment. Like back in the Roman days when they had the Colosseum fighting lions and all
And the
that.
nigga that wins is a good nigga. The nigga that wins gets a little favor, man. He don't have to work in the field the next day.
Yeah.
Right? Or he get a piece of pork chop.
Yeah.
Right? But then you think about something else. Right? They take those same brothers and they split them apart and they use one brother to breed with. And then now you got two brothers to breed with. These brothers are competing against each other right, to spread their seeds so that NASA don't get them. We got to be the best breeding product there is out there. And even today, right now, today, we got to be better than our brother. But why can't I be equal to my brother?
That's not the same thought. That's not the mindset.
But then Willie Lynch went in there and he took a woman and he put a woman before us. And today, as of today, because there is no shepherd to lead the flock, as of the day that Stockholm thing is still going on today. Yes, because what they're doing is a woman don't have a problem rising up against her man. A woman don't have a problem rising up against a brother in the store.
Right.
A woman don't have a problem standing up and raising her knuckles up, knowing that man can drop her at any time.
Right.
But a woman is stepping out there like that to do those things because they are out of order.
That's right. That's right.
And don't want to get back in order. Because pride has set in, because you have did it, I have did it. No. There's no reason there. Because we have been breeded to be against each other. We have been breeded to be against our woman. Our woman have been breeded to be against us. And there's some men accept themselves as being less than their wives, less than their girlfriend. They accept it, they keep moving with this thing.
And they're out of order when they accept it.
Exactly.
They're out of order when they accept it.
But the thing about that is, can you still be a head and still be cordial with your wife?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we have to keep Hamashiach
Up front.
in the Sarah thing.
Yes.
And I got a precept for that. Matthew 18, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name.
And where?
In my name.
All right.
There am I in the midst of them. So if we keep him front and center, then it squashes all that nonsense. Because his word is the word we should be moving forward.
Because regardless, his word is the ultimate truth. And y'all started this thing off talking about the truth. Right? That is our platform.
Right.
Right, brother?
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
Give me Ezekiel 34:6.
Ezekiel Chapter 34, verse 6.
You're not talking about Ezekiel either. Keep going, brother.
My sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yeah, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth.
Where?
My flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them.
I wonder why. Wonder why.
Robert, Psalm 83.
Yeah, that too. Because there is no money in a people, a nation of people that don't need you. Because Israel, I believe when they came out of Egypt, it wasn't just like it was just people. You know, they came out of Egypt. You know, we had carpenters, masons. When I say masons, I mean the ones that lay bricks.
right, exactly.
You know, we had scholars. I mean, we had scientists, mathematicians. I mean, we had people that were able to take care of themselves and their nation.
Very skilled.
Very skilled. Very skilled. You got
Your brother Abiyah, right? If you think about this, right? If you really think about it, right? Israel, they used Israel for what they were. When they brought Israel over here, they knew that Israel was skilled. That's why Israel built the America on their backs. And then they began to talk about these Mexicans the other day. Talking about that they are skilled craftsmen and most of them work inside their country. But we've been doing it for 400 years.
And you got not one time.
Why, you ain't even came out and said that in front of the camera. You haven't spread that over the world. But you got these long back people that have been doing this thing for a minute. They need to come and get some training from us.
That's right. That's right.
Kids, how many kids have cried? They have a little girl on TV crying, "Don't lock my baby up, we haven't done anything." Well, then guess what? They rape our men in front of our women, in front of their kids. They literally rape them over in Jamaica. even in the land. I mean, physically abuse them, sodomize them in front of their families to make them low so that they would have control over their family. If a son sees a father being taken down and raped before men, then what is that son going to feel? He will feel like, I don't have a chance.
There's a precept for that.
Father Bill, I mean, he gone. He had his lowest point.
Before you hit that precept, bro.
Go ahead, brother.
I've seen a torture device that they used. It was a shoe, a metal shoe. And the shoe was designed, it had 5 holes on the heel. And the bottom of it had, well, it was lifted up like this with a spring. And the bottom of it had 5 spikes that fit inside them holes. And they would put that on us. And when we got tired, and we pressed down on it, you know, you get right back up and get back to work. So, it's not, go ahead with the research.
So next weekend, I'm planning to go live in Virginia. But it won't be at the same time as you guys broadcast. I'm going to go inside one of these homes, and it's another one in Alabama. A friend of mine is talking to me about going live in one of these homes and look at some of the stuff that my brother was just talking about here. And I'm going to go live. I'm trying to go live so that I can do some moving around in this hour because Most High put me in a position to do that. And I like to believe that He put me in a position to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna go try to do some live videos and stuff like that, and see what we can pull together with that kind of stuff. So we need footage on something. A lot of people don't see this footage. A lot of people think that we're just blowing smoke or we're pissing in their face and telling them,
right?
You know, but it's real. Everything is real. This stuff is not fake at all. This stuff is real. And if we don't put ourselves together, we don't stand a chance.
Sure. Now see, just to add on to what the truth is saying, to what we're saying, with the understanding that we all have.
Yes, sir.
Hit Deuteronomy 28 and go 64 to 68. Well, I'm going to let you read all the way through. All the way through. And I want y'all to think and read, well, not read, but listen and read and listen at the same time, and understand who these scriptures are talking about. And keep in mind that when you speak of Egypt in scriptures or mystery, that word refers to slavery. Okay, keep that in mind. It refers to slavery. Ready? Go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. The Most High shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which men and thou nor their fathers have known, even wood and stone.
I'll let you read the whole up right there. So ask yourself, who did the forefathers pray to before they got to America? The Most High. It wasn't to the cross, which was made out of wood. It wasn't to that big old block stone that they got that the Muslims have. What's that thing called? The who? Cobblestone. Yeah, that. So it wasn't that. So just get that out your mind if you really paying attention. Go ahead.
Verse 65. And among the nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Most High shall give thee there a trembling heart, and falling of eyes, and sorrow of mind. Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. Thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
And we see that every day on TV. Every day. You know, even if you don't even watch TV, you just happen to be out. Just happen to be out. I was out the other day. I want to say it was Thursday. It was like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. There was a brother outside with his shirt off in D.C. just sweating and moving around and doing all this whole extra stuff, you know. I'm like, what is wrong?
Well, probably having Scooby snacks.
That's probably what it was.
I got a quick thing right here, Ryan. A lot of people don't realize and don't believe that a trembling heart had been instilled.
Oh, right, it's there.
Right. So think about this, right? I grew up with 3 brothers and 6 sisters, right? In most cases, when one got whipped, all of them got whipped, right? And when one is getting his whipping, do you not think that the rest of them were sitting there with a trembling heart?
Oh, yeah.
That's why when the Rodney Kings, when that whole Rodney King,
You got it.
they show that again and again
To give you a what?
let you know.
A trembling heart.
And then when
They
they
showed that boy laying out there in the STL, laying on the ground for hours and hours and hours. To do what? To give you a what?
We'll shoot you down in the street and let you know we can do this anytime, anywhere, nobody's going to be.
So a lot of us look over the trembling heart because they don't put it in the now,
right,
in the recent time, in the present.
right,
But it's there.
right,
They just don't see it because it's what? It's subliminal messages are given to them.
right. And see, a lot of people don't put, they say that the Old Testament has nothing to do with the New Testament. A lot of y'all say that. I say y'all talking about people that say that. You can't have the New Testament without the Old Testament. The Old Testament is the foundation. You have to go back to the Old Testament to have any understanding about what's going on in the New Testament. To even understand what Paul talks about. Because a lot of y'all got that messed up too. So you have to go back and read your foundation. This book was given to us. It wasn't given to Japhet or Ham or any of them. Nefertiti, not like I said Nefertiti. But it was given to us. So, and then go ahead.
In verse 67, in the morning thou shalt say, with Elohim it were even.
Now wake up in the morning like, man, I wish it was already evening time. Go ahead.
And at even thou shalt say, with Elohim it were morning.
Man, then when evening time here, like, man, I'm ready to go to sleep, wake up in the morning, try this again. Keep going.
For the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
Go ahead.
Verse 68. The Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be, sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And y'all know what that is? That's a transatlantic slave trade in a nutshell. Period. That's what it is. I mean, you know that they say that the Jews are back over in Israel right now, but they call them Jewish. And I don't remember them being in captivity for 400 years plus. I don't remember them being put in shackles and degraded and, you know, just put to shame. Just stripped of everything, integrity, just on down the line.
Not only that, where's the rest of the tribes supposed to be?
You got it. Where they at?
You got Ezekiel 34:7.
Ezekiel Chapter 34, verse 7. Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Most High. As I live, said the Elohim of Israel, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves, and fed not my flock.
And these shepherds got these big cars and houses and bank accounts, and they actually believe that they are doing the Most High's work. What's that veil? Read 13. Chapter 13, 1 through 3.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, verse 1.
Check this out. I'm gonna actually read through 1 through 8. Go ahead, check this out. Y'all listen carefully. Take notes if you have to.
And there arise among you a prophet, or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder. And the signs, when the wonder came to pass, where he spake unto thee, saying, let's go after the other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For the Most High, your Elohim, proveth you.
So there's only one that I recognize as having a dream like that and saying, broadcast, I have a dream. And after he realized what he did, he turned around and said that he feared that he has led his people into a burning building. And his name started out Michael. Michael. They gave him the title Martin Luther because of some saint that they had back over there, some white guy somewhere that was supposed to have been a saint and was teaching and was leading people. So they gave him that name, Martin Luther King. Go ahead.
To know whether the love of the Most High, your Elohim, with all your heart and with all your soul. Chapter 4, verse 4. You shall walk after the Most High, your Elohim, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and you shall serve him and cleave unto him.
So how can you keep his commandments? You don't even read the Old Testament. Keep going.
That prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
They killed him.
Because he has spoken to turn you away from the Most High, your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Most High, your Elohim, commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put evil away from the midst of thee.
Keep going. Now pay attention to verse 6. Keep going.
Verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou, nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people, which are round about you, nigh unto thee, far off from thee, from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him. Neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him.
So what he's basically saying is, if anybody you know is teaching against this truth, the word of the Most High, get away from it. If you gotta go from here to Japan to get away from it, you can just go away from it, regardless. And pity him. I mean, because ultimately at the end he's gonna burn. He or she is gonna burn. Yes, ma'am.
I was also thinking about how they
How they attach the gay rights movement to civil rights.
Right.
And but they did that all in the name of the rainbow.
Right.
They took a covenant, attached it to gay rights.
Right.
And raised it up to the level of civil rights.
Right. And that's another testament of saying that we on the land whose laws are not made for us, they're made to control us, but they're not for us. I mean, we're still, if you get the Constitution right now, you'll still see that we are still considered to be free citizens of man.
But they say we the people. They wasn't talking about he wasn't inside that we.
No, that wasn't me.
They come about them the people. They come about their nation of people. That's why if black people rise up, they come out with the tanks. They come out with the big guns and we call it the tear gas and all that. Because in case of a national emergency, they can call in the National Guard. When that thing went down and they did Rodney King, when they killed up on the street down in STL, all this stuff went down. What came out? The National Guard came out. Meaning that we were a threat to the nation.
Right.
You see what I mean? So that let us know right there, we don't have to look inside this water.
And then that's another testament to knowing, with them knowing who we are, because if we, as a nation, we found out who we truly were as a nation. It's over. It's over. So we all gonna have that one understanding that we are the Most High's chosen, like I said before. And there ain't nothing you can do to them.
And he will fight.
And he's going to fight for us. He went with Abraham. Abraham had the Most High with him. When he got Lot.
Oh yeah.
So they killed everything.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
And destroyed that thing too. So, I mean, man, you get Ezekiel 34 now.
But that's what Lot was in Sodom.
Yeah.
And even then,
And even then, he
they had men trying to rape men. They had beds in the street, laying with men and women in the street. To such a bad situation when the angels came in. They wanted to lay with them too. Isn't that something?
God said, take my
Yeah,
daughter.
take my daughter. Don't do that.
They said, take my daughters, man. Don't do this to the men.
Man.
Angels say, step back, let him in. Let him come on up in here if you want to. Swing and Charlie gonna be dazzling them. Them.
Oh, man. You get that in the middle, bro?
Yeah. Book of Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of the Most High.
Now, y'all pay attention to what he's been reading now. If you go to church on Sunday, if you out here telling folks to kiss your boots, if you out here telling folks that it's okay to keep eating this, or eat this chicken, or eat this shrimp, or if you're telling these people to do things that go against his word, you better get cut. Go ahead and read that first.
Verse 10. Thus said the Most High, Elohim, Behold, I am against the shepherd, and I will require my flock at their hand.
Boy, you know, that's keep going.
And cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves any more. For I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them.
So the Most High is going to hold each and every last one of y'all accountable for the words and what you're teaching these people. He's going to hold you accountable, and you can't say you didn't do it because you keep a record of it right now. Keep a record of it right now. And it's not that you don't want to know the truth. I believe a lot of y'all know.
A lot of us.
A lot of what? Well, a lot of us too.
Well, I'm saying us because I'm saying
Us.
I'm saying us as a whole, Israel.
Israel, yeah.
Because I'm speaking in the same sense because I am my brother's keeper. So a lot of us is teaching, we want to teach the right thing, but we don't have the urim and the what?
Don't.
And the thummim. You got to have the urim and the thummim. If you don't have the urim and the thummim, it don't matter it don't matter you trying to represent Israel, because you don't have the urim and the thummim that go with the breastplate. You see what I mean? You can get you can make a breastplate, but you can't make the urim and the thummim. You got to have that urim and thummim because that is the connection.
Integrity.
You see?
You made it over there, bro?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood,
Now this is he talking to us, man. Keep going.
and holy nation, a peculiar
Now
people,
what is a peculiar people?
different,
What is that?
set apart.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Set apart. Set apart from what?
World.
That's right. Set apart from everything that's not holy. Keep going.
A peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light.
Now I don't believe none of us, men or women, if you're around another woman, if you're around, for women, if you're around another woman, they say something that's out of line, that you correct them right there. I don't believe that none of you women will not do it. Now, as far as men go, I don't believe that what we know, that if a brother comes, walk through this door, out of order, saying this and saying that with his head covered, trying to read some scriptures, and, I might have to beat the brother to say you out of order. But I know when he walked in the door, he's recognizing what he's got on and what he's doing, that he's going to get checked at the door. That's what we got to start doing. We got to start checking our brothers. I ain't going to say check. I'm going to say edifying our brothers at the door. When we see them, they coming up, talking to us, and they're adamant about what they're talking about. Okay, don't be as harsh about it or some other brothers do, but say, okay, let's go back in here and read this. Then let them decide. Okay? So,
but definitely that check is check, not search. And we ain't talking about searching nobody.
right.
We're doing, if there's something that is out of order with the law and the testimony within this brother's heart, then it's good. It's okay to edify.
Right. And then that's going back to where it's saying, show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. So I know, I feel blessed. I can't explain in so many words how blessed I feel to have this understanding that I have and still searching for it. Still trying to get it.
Because it's everlasting, it's forever learning.
Right. It's just, and I'm not going to bow down from it. I'm not going to, go to church, come here today and be in church tomorrow. I'm not going to do that. Can't do it. I go to church and be kicking me out that sucker real quick. No, you a heathen. You got to go.
Shut the door.
Shut the door. Let's stand on your neck. Ezekiel 11. No, I'm sorry, 34, verse 11.
Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 11. For thus said the Most High Elohim, Behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out.
Most High said he's going to find his people. Keep going. Keep the next verse.
Verse 12. As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the days that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day.
So, Most High says that he's going to come get his people. He'll come find us no matter where we at. If we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments to our best of our ability, he's going to come get us and set everything straight. Is that not what we just read?
Go
Go ahead.
We got to understand something too, right? That, and I like to keep saying this from a very humble point. We are Israel, right? It's not a thing of they are not Israel. It's we are Israel, right? So, what do I look like? According to Scripture, he said he's going to search his people out, right? He already said they're going to be misled by the leaders of this thing, right? The elders and all this stuff. So, who am I to tell anybody that they are reprobate? How can I tell somebody they reprobate when I don't even know that whether my foot is inside the kingdom or not myself? It's my responsibility to get me in the kingdom, be a light unto the people as they head to the kingdom, and don't discount whether anybody else can make it. Because when you tell a man or a woman, and you don't make that judgment call, when you tell a man or a woman that they are reprobate, you're telling them that they're not fit for the kingdom. But he's coming back to his people.
That's right.
So how can you do that? The scripture says, if the righteous be scarcely saved, then where will the sinner and the ungodly appear? So the righteous man is scared, just barely getting through. So there's two more types of people. There's a sinner that we know is not doing right. And there's an ungodly or someone that knows part of the truth that just won't get it right. Because he said, if the righteous be scarcely saved, that means that we was all born in sin and shaped in iniquity. How can I tell you you can't make it when I'm not even living?
Right.
My point exactly. That's why we take a humble walk. We err on the side of caution. And if you make a mistake, that's why the word is called mistake. Right? But when we willingly say, I know, I got this understanding, I'm going to go willingly do this.
Anyway.
Right. Now you're setting yourself up for something. Because he's going to chasing you. Now if you find yourself not being chasing, then you might want to try to get in work and you might be headed toward the big R of reprobate. Because he said he's going to give us great illusion to make us believe a lie, to make us believe that those things that we're living and the things we're doing is okay. But when you're out of order, how can you be out of order and be right too? Right? That's like walking around saying I'm black and white. I'm Israel and I'm Gentile. That's it. Laodicea. Go ahead, my brother. Sorry for the interruption. You got one?
Joel chapter 3.
Brother got a precept.
What you got?
Joel chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. For behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of those them there for my heritage Israel, and they have scattered among the nations part of the land.
Y'all hear?
Right. I mean, the truth is there. He said he's going to forgive us. He said he's going to redeem us. He said he's standing straight.
But he said, for my people.
Yeah, his people.
My people.
So that goes back to that word. Peculiar. I can't even say it right.
What is it?
Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Yeah, that's it.
So, the little example I like about that is, when I was a young man, I was young, but now I'm almost old. But I've never been forsaken by the Most High. So I'm going to say this right here real quick. When I was a young man, I used to keep my face shaved, but I wore a mustache. I went to some people's house that were used to seeing me with a mustache, but I have been shaving and I gashed it, so I cut the whole thing off. Walked in the door and the lady said, "You look peculiar." Otherwise, he said, I look different from what other people look like that normally wear a mustache. I look different and I don't look like having that mustache.
Right.
Because you're peculiar people, you're not going to be like the normal people.
Right.
There has to be something that's different about you.
And that goes along with, having your beard. I mean, some of us can't grow a full beard. I mean, mine. Well, I still probably got some spots in there somewhere, but I know that I can't take that off like that.
Yeah, well, I got to think about that for me.
And in the society, what he said about the beard, because in the society, they try to lead you to believe that if you're going to get a job, you have to have a clean shaven face.
Yeah.
So they don't want any remnant of who you really are being shown
Right.
in the world.
And knowing that we gotta go to them.
Just in case you got some knowledge or you come in contact with somebody with some knowledge.
Yeah.
They don't want you like that.
Yeah.
Really, that's appreciated.
Who got precept?
Hebrews.
Oh, he got precept.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. For whom the Most High loveth, he's chastening and scarred every son whom he received.
So, basically, if the Most High don't love you, He gonna let you do what you want to do. He won't let you go out there and accumulate things that you want from your own, not from what He has for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, that's just like, okay, let me tell y'all a story.
Uh-oh.
I was in the 4th grade. And I had a report to do, right? And I went to school. I mean, I didn't do the report because the lady called before she called the house. She said, well, you know, it was due today, but we need till tomorrow to get it in here. I said, oh, I forgot. I was looking at my computer up. She said, yeah. I said, yeah, I got to type the name in and do a report for me. She said, why? She said, what kind of computer you get? I said, it was a Tandy. So, me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go to the house. He just got one report done, turn it in, you know, I'm good. Ain't nobody gonna know that. I get to the house, do my little homework, that's what I do my other classes. I start writing this thing out. About 5:30, 6 o'clock, my dad came. He said, boy, I got a phone call today. He didn't even give me time to lie. He said, I got a phone call today. He said, she had a computer. I said, you know what for you? He said, where's this thing? Yeah. I was sitting there like a deer headlight, and I knew that my schoolwork came first. Did everything else. And without me doing what I was told to do off the rip, I got that whoop. And ever since then, my work was done. Written out. I ain't had a computer, but it was done. It's the same thing to say. If you know who's lost that you can command, and you trying your best to keep, you slip up here and there, but you're going to get your little chest out. It might be, you know, might miss a couple days of work or something. I don't know. It might be something, I don't know what it is. But
real quick. A lot of times we see things happen in our lives, right? And people see things happen to you in life. And they think that the Most High is doing something to you like He's taking His hands off of you. And He allows all these things to, to come into your life. And they damn you where you stand, right? But when He's chasing you, right, that means that He still is His people, right? So therefore, He's chasing you in order to get you to where He wants you to be. Right. Sometimes things happen in our life because we're being hindered by situations. Right. Sometimes we're hindered by people. Right. Sometimes we're governed by people. Right. Sometimes people cause us not to be where we need to be, so He takes you through. And in the course of going through, there's going to be some problems going through, there's going to be some misunderstandings going through. And then when you can accept, because every time something, especially when you're dealing with people, every time something happens, you're going to receive some type of feeling from this thing. And when you receive this feeling from this thing, how should you take that? The question is, how should you take it? So should we take this, and we are the children of the Most High, and He causes us to be chastened, right? If He can control Pharaoh's mind, why can't He control your mind? Right. So when things happen, sometimes He set us up in position that He can work with us to a point of taking us to the next level. But we don't understand that we're going to the next level. But then when your eyes are open and you say, hey, I'm at another level. But I went through all this to get to this level. Because our mindset sometimes is not in place to go to that level with that extra baggage that's holding you down. I remember when my car broke down on Interstate 81, I was coming from Arkansas, coming this way. I had my boxes, I used to travel with boxes all the time. In the car, I load up in the car, my son, I was here, I'll be there here, and I'll be there. I wasn't in the work, I didn't know nothing about this thing. I was back in the 80s, and I was, 80s, early 90s. And I'm going to tell you, I got tired of you, I packed my boxes up. Mama tell me, she said, look, I look over there, you shooting my line up, I know you down. Car broke down. When the car broke down, I knew that was it. I started off loading everything on the box, I walked on all the boxes, right? I got about 2 blocks, I dropped the box. Kept going, had a double bag on back, I was a military guy. Double bag on back, keep going. Dropped another box. Kept going and the duffel bag got heavy. I dropped the duffel bag. Eventually, I had nothing in my hands except for my legal documents. And I kept walking. But I was able to make it to the next city. When I got to the next city, someone had been behind me picking up all my boxes and brought them to the courthouse. And when I showed up there, the boxes were there. Because the Most High tell you, you leave that baggage and I can guide you, I can get you to your next point. But you're not going to make it with that. So every time you drop a bag, it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing to drop a bag. This is not fairy tale. This is not something I thought about. This is something I actually live. And there are people that in my life that know I'm telling the truth about these things. So we got to look at what part did the Most High play and then what part did I play. I wanted to carry all the baggage, but he said, no, you don't need the baggage. I got you. And you put yourself in front of those things that you possess. My car can't mean more than me. My house can't mean more than me. My wife can't mean, my woman, my brother, my husband, my child can't mean more than me, because if they mean more than me, then I'm going to put them before the Most High. Because if I'm number one, then therefore the only way I can get into the kingdom, he said, seek ye the kingdom first. The only way I'm going to get into the kingdom, I got to tie myself into the Most High. Then everything else comes to me, is what he said. Then everything else comes. So sometimes you got to drop some things to get to. I'm not saying get rid of your wife, get rid of your husband. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. So don't think I'm saying get rid of your people. But what I'm saying is, you got, because at the ultimate day, do you think that when you stand before the Most High, He gonna ask you, right? Why did your husband do this right here? He's not gonna ask you that. He gonna say, why did you do that?
That's right.
There's nothing that a companion, a loved one, a son, a daughter can do to keep me out of the kingdom. I can only keep me out of the kingdom. But if I'm dragging along baggage, I can't do it that way sometimes. Sometimes you got things got to work in your life way the Most High, and then He'll bring it all back to you. Because He sees that you didn't put that before Him. So He'll give it back to you gracefully. Remember what happened to Job. Job's wife told him, why don't you just cuss the Most High and die? But what was Job's reward? He got many folks. He lost sons and daughters, but he got everything back in how many folks? Many folks.
The book is full of people who have that situation happen, where the Most High tests them, and it's taking them to another level. They go through all kinds of trials, and these are His prophets, His priests, from Moses to Jeremiah, to Isaiah,
Amos?
yeah, to even Abiyah. Everybody goes through those tests to take them to the next level, but they have to put the Most High first.
That's what I'm saying in the language. Here you go, brother.
The opposite to the state too, because sometimes Satan do everything, people will worship you for that.
Yeah.
He will give you all the money back. So give you a job where you can make $1 million a year. Now you got a lot of things at your disposal that you probably never had. You got people coming at you from all different ways that can expose you to a lot of different elements. You know what I'm saying? Now you got options. Like Project, I could incentives to do some cocaine. I should go get a whole bunch of prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? It just opens you up into a whole world of people. If people say, oh, you must be favored by God. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they start looking at you like you're not favored. It's just, it could be saying, listen with other things that look at.
He does the reward because he took our Hamashiach to a mountain and showed him the world, and he told him, he said, all these things I've given to you if you just do one worship unto me. But they tell me that my Father, they tell me that my Hamashiach said that He would give me a mind of discernment. That I can make a discernment of what I need to do, which is right. How can, He said, I'm going to write some things in your heart.
Right.
Right? So now we got to get to a point where we make better decisions. And I'm going to tell you, there's not many times that the opportunity of doing something wrong that came into my life that I looked at and said, that's not right to do. So if I fail to do it, now I'm making a conscious decision to do what? You got it. So the mind of discernment, you have to pray for a mind of discernment. Because like the brother said, Satan can offer you, he can offer you the word, he did it to your home machine, why would he do it to you? And he's so much greater than you. He's the son of the Father. And he did it to him. Why wouldn't he do it to you?
That's why now, whenever I encounter some kind of situation, and I have to make a choice, what I try to discipline myself to do is say, okay, whatever I'm doing, does it line up with the word and what's in the book or not? If it doesn't line up, I gotta let it go. Yeah,
There you go. I mean, that's just it.
Joel 2. 1 through 11.
You said Job 2?
Joel.
Joel?
Book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Now this is talking about going back to Ezekiel, talking about how he's going to come and search out his people, search for his sheep. Go ahead.
And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Most High cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Fire devoured before them, and behind them is a flame burning. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and of horsemen. So shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces gather blackness. Verse 7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march everyone on his wings. And they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one trust another. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in at all windows like a thief. Verse 10. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Most High is great and very terrible. Who can abide?
Now, yeah. Those are that's when he comes and redeems people. And it's end time, then game. When he comes, that sky crack, game on. And one scripture says that one that says that they should fall upon the sword and not be moved. Right? So with that being said, that means that what they call it, not transformation, When you get your celestial, and yeah, you glorify, right? So, me personally, I just want to make a king. I mean, and if I'm to a point to where he sees fit for me to join his army, join his ranks, I'm in there with this sword. We're gonna do what I gotta do.
So I missed something. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I missed it. You read the scripture, and then there was comments.
Oh, we're talking about his army, how Joel, we just read about his army.
Okay.
You know, we keep your law, you doing what's right, what you're supposed to do, responsibility, but you can't be a part of his army. We almost have a couple more verses and we'll be done. Ezekiel 34 and 13.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 13. And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries. And I will bring them to their own land and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers and in all the inhabited places of the country. I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie in a good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. I will feed my flock, and I will cause them to lie down, said the Most High.
So, after he comes and gets us, after he redeems us, after he gathered his sheep, it's going to be fat. When we say fat pasture, it means that we're not going to want for nothing when we get there. Everything that our heart desires, or whatever it is that'll make us happy, or make us, or have us to a point to where we continue to grow and learn and pray and worship the Most High. We're going to hit Ezekiel 20. Uh, 33 through 40.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33.
33 through 40.
Verse 33. As I live, saith the Most High Elohim, surely with a mighty hand, with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith Most High Elohim.
So even when he comes and brings us into the wilderness, he's going to give everybody one more chance to get this thing right. He's going to plead with you face to face, like we right here. I'm going to plead with you. Come on, man, let's. I need you to get this. And then later on down the line, you do something that you ain't ever been doing. I don't know how you're going to do it. You might just drop dead or what. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure you can do it if you want to. But, yeah, he's going to plead with us. So, don't get that. That's for the brothers that let's say brothers get there. Let's say that he's saying do this, and they saying do that. You know, that's for the brothers that's still trying to buck and go against the grain. See? Go ahead.
Verse 37. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Right. Go ahead.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels,
Uh-huh.
and them that transgress against me.
Uh-huh.
I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn,
Uh-huh.
and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Most High.
Keep going.
As for you, O house of Israel,
Oh.
So, even though he's going to plead with Israel, it's going to be with he said with a strong, you read that again, with an iron rod. Right?
yeah, I will cause you to pass under the rod,
He's
and I
going to
will
cause
bring
you. He's going to cause you to pass under the rod. So therefore, what we've got to understand is, like in this day and time, you got people that come out and they teach, and they try to edify and stuff like that, and people buck it because of their feelings, whether it's not a lack of understanding or whatever, I don't know. But with him, it ain't gonna be like that. He gonna give it to you. Either you gonna receive it or you not.
That's right.
You ain't got time. Because we know one thing. 2/3 of Israel is gonna be short.
Now see, we just reading this, it comes to mind that he's going to gather Israel, period. Whether they know what they need to know or not, he's going to gather us, period. And if you go there, and if you still trying to go against what he's telling you to do, you're going to pass under that rod. Period. So that's just like, that's just like, all right, man, okay, Most High thing, man, we gotta go. Come on, you're Israelite. No, I ain't no Israelite, I'm a nigga. I'm African American. All right, well, come on, you're going anyway.
Come on, African American.
Yeah, come on, African American. You're going anyway, come on, we gotta go.
But
Now, when you get there, that's on you, African American. You better fall in line, brother. If not, you're
But
gonna
he's gonna use people that's knowledgeable like us, that has already, all of us here, period, that has been, and I mean period, that has been studying this word, that has an understanding of this word, that has the understanding to help those people that has rejected it to a point. But he said, if you reject me, I'm gonna reject you and your children.
And your children.
And your children's children. And your children's children's children. Right? So, if you ever want to see, what the Most High is going to do, you always look back in the past and see what he did before. Right? When they bucked against, when they just came out of Egypt, and they bucked against Aaron, Moses, right? We know that Aaron and Moses represented who? Hamashiach, right? Because that was what? That was the king, and the priest. Moses represented the king. Aaron represented the high priest. So Hamashiach, what there? You go back to Melchizedek, that's who? The king and the priest. In between them came other kings. Even David acted as king and priest in a situation that Israel went through. Meaning that he superseded the priest, because the priest wasn't doing anything. He was already the king. So he took the Urim and the Thummim and went forward with it, right? So now, with us going there with that, we got to understand that the Most High is not playing at all. We have a way of procrastinating and want to do what we think and what we feel. It's not about what we think and what we feel, because the Most High thought is so much more greater than our thoughts. They're so much more higher than our thoughts. That's why he gave you a law and a testimony. That he said, you don't come in this, and there's a problem. So when you got people that reject, when they rejected Moses and they rose up against them, the earth opened up and it swallowed those people. And those people is yet to be seen today. How many of y'all know those guys will still rise? Those same ones that the earth swallowed is going to rise again at the showing of our Hamashiach when he come back to redeem his people. Even the ones in the sea gonna come back. And everybody has to answer for what they've done and how they live. So on a common day, if we know that we, in our own feelings, and we treat people certain ways, we got to answer for those things, regardless of what we feel like we're right and what we're wrong. Because a sinner can live his whole life being a sinner. And right before he dies, he get in tune with the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High and line up and get straight. He'll go to the kingdom. But a man that studied the word his whole life, get down to the end of his life and die, and break the laws and commandments and remove himself from the covenant of the Most High, what do we end up? So we got to look, and that's scripture. So those are the things that actually.
Verse 30.
Got a question right here.
About, that's what I'm coming back to understanding with this, about the 2/3, like will the 2/3 come at this 478 or will it be the wilderness? I don't keep it connection, or I don't have to understand.
You got to think about, there's a lot of people. Okay? You got to think about the people that have lived before us, our ancestors, that died in the truth. And you got to think about the ones that didn't want to get it. Okay? So, no matter how big the number is individually, 2/3 of that number is what he was talking about. I mean, judgment hasn't came yet. God had correct, he had to show up. So he had to take into accountability for those. Right?
The 2/3 of Israel,
Right.
total Israel. You born in 16 BC. You Israelite?
Or year 35.
Right. Right.
You know?
So all that, even Cain has to answer for this. You know, he's through Abel. Everyone has to answer for what they do, because the Most High is a righteous Elohim, and everything that He says. I don't think he answered this question yet, but everything that he say, everything he speaks is righteous. So it is right, whatever he speaks, it's right? But now, I'm going to tell you, let's look at the law, right? The Most High is not going to make us, He's not going to make us do anything that He's not going to do. He's not going to make us keep anything that He's not going to keep. If a stranger came into the camp of Israel and he abode there with Israel, right? And then he, after three generations, the seed of that stranger becomes Israel because of that mingle with Israel, right? So if an Israelite that knows the truth goes out and he mingles with the world, and he does the things that the world do, and he produces in the world, all of his labor is within the world. What does that make him? I mean, he's doing with the Gentiles. Does that make him a Gentile?
But he still is. It's just because it's not going to change his nationality.
Right.
So he's still an Israelite. So there's just like people, when he gathered all of Israel, he's going to even them too. Like I said, when we get in the wilderness, it's not he gonna plead with them to understand what he's saying. And the way he pleaded, I don't know if he said he's gonna do it face to face, so he there, you know. And if they still don't get it, they don't get it.
So the answer, you said, like, did it happen already, or was it gonna happen? Right, it's gonna happen. It's future prophecies, like what we're doing on in Ezekiel 20, verse 38. It kind of falls under where he says he will purge out from among us the rebels. And in Zechariah 13, where he talked, 13 verse 8, where he says, it shall come to pass that in all the lands, said the Most High, 2 parts there shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left there. It's a prophecy. It didn't happen yet. Because in Ezekiel it talks about Israel's future. It's going to happen when he purchased all the wilderness. That 2/3 will be so. It didn't happen yet.
Reading now. Verse 9.
You said verse 9?
Yeah.
Is that right, right? Yeah, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Most High is my Elohim.
So when he said he's gonna cause them to go under the rod, those are the ones that's going through the fire. See what I mean? So if you can't make it under the rod, when he gathers them together, and you don't make it under the rod, because they're not, but every one person that goes under the rod, 2 of them go stand by the pit. You see what I'm saying? So the question is, prepare yourself now, because it's just like people have a problem saying what our Hamashiach's name is. It don't, as long as you don't call him Jesus, then we do it, right? So because why? Because when he show up, he's going to show up with a name that no man has ever known anyway. So why would you call that to allow you to separate from your brother, because he's not saying what you're saying? You know he's meant that. You know he recognized that he's not that false Jesus. So it don't make a difference. Like, there's some things that we as Israel are so petty about, that we deal with so petty, that it causes us to shun our brothers into the clean to our brothers.
Yeah, those are vain arguments.
The little cliches, yeah. The little bitty stuff, right? So he actually, if you think about it, right, if you know the truth that you have, and he gathered everybody together at the end gathering. If you look at when you begin to look at the feast days tell you exactly what's going to take place, right? The end gathering. When do that happen? When does the end gathering happen? When does the Day of Atonement happen? When is the Passover going on? All those feast days tell a story, right? Because then you get down to the Day of Pentecost. The Day of Pentecost is the renewing of the covenant. So you got to know about these feast days. You got to know what they represent. You got to know where they take you to, because that's why we're practicing these feast days every year over and over again, because inside those feast days there, and you hold those feast days, there's a lesson that goes with these things that ties us in, that shows you where we're going. So when you get down to the Feast of Weeks, right? The Feast of Weeks, isn't that the one where you do the end gathering? Ain't that it? Yeah. Because when you come down to the 50th day, let's start talking about the 50th day, right? So now we got to understand now that when that takes place, that's the same thing as the end gathering, right? The same thing when my brother was just talking about when he said he's going to gather his people, right? And he said, leave the corners of the field untouched for the Gentiles and the other nations. Because there's going to be some Gentiles that's going to be in the corner of the end gathering that's going to be able to get a hold of some of this stuff. And that's why you're going to see a number of people that no man can number. Right? So we got to look at everything for what it exactly is. But if you study your feast days, it'll tell you everything that's going to go on. It'll break it down to the lowest denominator. But Brother Darrin, you read something. Can you read that again?
In Zechariah 13,
yes, sir.
verse 8 through 9.
Yes, sir.
And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Most High, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Most High is my Elohim.
Don't that sound like the tares of the wheat?
Go ahead, brother. All right, this is Ezekiel Chapter 20, verse 38. Continuing. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that shall transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Most High. Verse 39. As for you, O house of Israel, thus saith the Most High Elohim, go ye, serve ye every one his idols, and hereafter also, if you will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name, no more with your gifts and with your idols. For in my holy mountain is the mountain of the height of Israel, saith the Most High Elohim. There shall all the house of Israel, all of them in the land, serve me. There will I accept them, and there will I require your offerings and the first fruits of your oblations with all your holy things.
So we pretty much covered all that. There was a couple questions we had. One more scripture to read. We'll hit Ezekiel 34:16. And
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 16. I will seek that which was lost.
what was lost? Israel, right?
I will seek that which was lost, and bring again that which was driven away, and will bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick. But I will destroy the fat and the strong. I will feed them with judgment.
So, and that's spiritual judgment. So he's going to judge by these laws, statutes, and commandments. And we have to understand that, like Elder was saying, this is not a game. Most High is not playing. When he said he's going to do something, he's going to do it. The events that happened in Scripture, you can go back, find your history, but you can go back and do a line of it's facts. Right or wrong? That's right. So, that being said, hope you all got some understanding. And thanks for listening. You understand the face of people?